the first things, the first solos I ever learned was Tom Morello solo. So it'd be like. Right, that kind of thing. But that was kind of like where I started, and it graduated into like some Randy Rhoads stuff. It was like. Which has a beautiful harmony on it, which really kicks off one of the most like beautiful solos of all time. And usually he's pulling off on the. But for a player like me, it's cleaner to kind of tap it like. Right? And he launches into this. And always with his like solos, it's always like a composition. So he'll break that up with a. And then back into something which actually I never actually figured out. So I just always was like. Because that'll get me to. And that's variants that he does on the tribute record. And then launches into that kind of like. And then, okay, the lick though in that solo that is so cool is the. It just has this way of like taking it right back down to the end, and he kind of keeps going after that, and eventually they just fade him. They're like, yo, dude, like, we got it, fade that solo down. And that was one of my favorite ones to learn.
When players are playing fast like that, sometimes to me it can just sound like picking exercises.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all like, all the notes are chosen really well. I mean, there's a lot of players that do that, take the classical, like Brian May does it, Randy Rhoads, like that Lynch solo. And make it really musical as opposed to just a bunch of shredding, which is cool too. Like, it's awesome just to see a dude like playing a million notes, but it's nice to really hit you in the heart too with a solo.
The next guitar player, it might be a little controversial with the like elite shredders out there, but we're both massive Kirk Hammett fans.
The end of the battery solo, right? Just seem like weird notes.
Yeah.
But they sound awesome, and they'll always stick with you. And then.
Yeah, he always had a way of like ending on a lick where you're like, you remember what he's done.
I love those things too, like where it's these close and far intervals.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm playing that right. Probably not. I learned it like 30 years ago.
I chose the puppet solo. Just the way that one launches into. And then that would be where he uses the whammy, like. And the whole like. I love that kind of stuff, like learning that kind of delivery with the. And then being able to just sweep that hand back up to. So he has this kind of like, it's weirdly mathematical, but also sounds very raw. So, and that was at a time where Metallica was kind of at its rawest, right? So it'd be like right? And just he had this way of ending a solo where you knew that that crescendo meant something rad was coming up next. And then there's guys like Dimebag, like every day at least before the show I'm trying to warm up to like his ability to like channel Ace, Eddie, all these guys that like that we grew up with too was really cool. And he just had these ways of breaking up solos with just these really cool, memorable licks. Like I don't know if I'm gonna play it properly, but in that solo in Shattered, there's this lick that's like he ends it on. And then wow, with that whammy pedal again, and then just goes back into that riff again, and it's so badass.
He's got a distinct voice too. It's like very tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything sounds
yeah.
tough when he plays it.